This video is about natural remedies and cures for vaginal yeast infection. So make sure you stay tuned to the end because there's lots of information to be learned from this, especially if you do suffer from yeast infection or know someone who does. Vaginal yeast infection is a fungal infection that causes irritation, burning sensation, especially during sexual intercourse, discharge, and intense itching of the vagina and the vulva. This also called yeast vaginitis and vaginal candidiasis. It is said that this infection affects up to 3 out of 4 women at some point in their life. Many women experience at least 2 occurrences. Vaginal yeast infection does not consider as a sexual transmitted disease. However, there's an increased risk of vaginal yeast infection at the time of first regular sexual activity. Evidence also showed that this infection may also be linked from mouth to genital contact or otherwise oral sex. More severe signs and symptoms like extensive redness, swelling and itching that leads to tears, cracks, and or sores. Medications can effectively treat vaginal yeast infections, but if you have recurring yeast infection, like 4 or more within a year, you may need longer course of treatment at a time. Roughly 5 to 8% of women have 4 or more episodes a year. The vagina naturally contains balanced mix of yeast, including candida and bacteria. Certain bacteria, like lactobacillus, help to prevent yeast overgrowth. However, this balance can be disturbed as a result of regular use of antibiotics, which can cause an imbalancement in the natural flora of the vagina. Pregnancy also play a factor. Uncontrolled diabetes, the impaired immune system, also oral contraceptive or hormone therapy that increase estrogen level. Because yeast infection can be easily misdiagnosed, you should make sure you consult with your doctor if you are experiencing any of these symptoms so you can be properly diagnosed. The earlier you know and treat this infection, the less likely it will develop into a more severe episode. Yeast infection occur mainly in women who are menstruating. They are less likely to affect postmenopausal women who do not use estrogen-containing hormone therapy, and rarely affect girls who have not yet started their menstruation. Here are some natural remedies to treat vaginal yeast infection and also reduce the risk of vaginal yeast infection. You should consider wearing underwear that has cotton crotch and doesn't fit too tightly. Also, avoid tight-fitting pantyhose. Do not douche. It removes some of the normal bacteria in the vagina that protects you from infection. Don't use scented feminine products. Include bubble bath, pads and tampons. Avoid hot tubs and very hot bath. Limit unnecessary antibiotics use when possible. Avoid staying in wet clothes such as swimsuit or workout attire for a long period of time. Consider eating yogurt with live culture with no added sugar. This might help future yeast infection. This can also be applied topically to the vagina. Probiotics are live microorganisms that can be consumed to provide health benefits, particularly in the digestive system. Eating probiotics-rich foods can help to restore a healthy gut flora by killing bad bacteria that cause diseases and increase infection. Boric acid is an effective treatment for yeast infection, especially in severe cases. Doctors recommend using this when other antifungal medication are not working. Boric acid works by preventing candida fungi from growing. This is available as a vaginal suppository and should never be taken orally. However, bear in mind this is not safe for pregnant women. Next, we have Oregano Essential Oil. This has found to be effective against 5 different types of candida, such as those that cause infections in the mouth and vagina. In fact, this was more effective than any other essential oil tested. Oregano oil is effective to stop candida fungal growth and reduce the risk of vaginal infection. You can apply oregano oil to the affected genital area by inserting an oil of oregano capsule inside at night. For best result, apply at night before you go to sleep and then check for the result in the morning. Because oil of oregano is considered as a blood thinner, it is advisable not to use this if you suffer from blood clotting issues or vitamin K deficiency. Please consult your doctor before using any home remedies. Next, we have tea tree oil. Tea tree oil has always been a choice for those using tampons during their period. So, if someone gets their period during a fungal infection, they can opt to add diluted tea tree oil in the tampon before insert it inside. Various tests on fungal infections. Tea tree oil has always been a clear winner in eradicating the soreness of vaginal infection. It kills a range of infections like yeast, to include candida. Because tea tree oil is an essential oil, it is crucial to mix a carrier oil like coconut oil with this before applying. Of course, it is better to test the diluted oil on your palm and then check the next day to see if there's any reaction. Because the genital area is a sensitive place, make sure to test out products before you apply them. Next, we have apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar can kill bacteria and fungal infections in one go. It is a well-known antifungal and antibacterial properties. Apple cider vinegar is quite popular for soaking to relieve yourself from fungal issues. Because it is an acetic acid, the most suitable way of using it would be diluting it in warm water before cleansing the vaginal area. You can also consume apple cider vinegar by adding 2 tablespoons to warm water and drink it right before your meal. Be sure to consider seeking medical advice before ingesting this. Next, we have garlic. Consuming more garlic is effective against yeast infection, so adding more garlic to your daily diet will certainly be beneficial to you. So try this and see the results. Garlic has antibacterial and antiviral properties, and it is very effective in stopping the growth of candida yeast. It can reduce the candida yeast attack that leads to vaginal infection. Vaginal infection can be troublesome, especially during periods, and in some cases, it can end up being a hassle, especially when you leave it too late to be treated, so make sure you get an early diagnosis. So although you might want to try out some of these natural homemade solutions to your vaginal infection, it is advisable for you to consult with your doctor first. There are several other natural remedies like vitamin C and lemongrass oil that can help this condition. Leave me a comment if you want to see more information like this and if this information was helpful to you. And remember, always consult with your doctor if you're still experiencing symptoms after a week of home remedies. And thank you so much for watching. Eat well, live well, and stay well. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you can see when I upload more videos like this. This is Nature's Way.